brands and businesses. So if you have a startup or you're part of a bigger company where you can hide behind a logo, where you're not a person like me, because no assistant is ever going to tweet or communicate on my behalf. But if you're a logo, you can find 30, 40, 100, 500 passionate people to become the voice of your brand, and you can engage with every person that talks about your brand. And I believe the value of that context is very important. Jonathan, when you asked me that question, I remember you interviewing me 2 years ago at LeWeb. When I see your face, I already feel something different for you. We've only spent 15 minutes together and a couple of tweets online, but I feel totally different about you than I do about these guys because I don't know them as well yet. But now, just by saying these guys, I already feel something different to them. And I truly believe that we are underestimating context. This space is always fascinated and obsessed with content is king, and I think we massively underestimate the context, especially when there's human DNA behind it. I think that is the battleground. I think the humanization of a brand is immensely important, and my book that I wrote and spent a lot of time actually researching, not just by going on guts, called The Thank You Economy, talks about what starts happening to a business when they truly care. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. What does not happen at this conference enough is talking about the end user. And the end user is the game. And we think about how to trick them to see more impressions. And we think about how to get them to understand, but we don't talk enough about how to actually listen to them and really do what the fuck they want. Awesome, the hands are coming, let's go. There's a lot of hands up. Are you guys willing to move around?
Hi, I'm Giles from Brandwatch.
How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm loving your energy.
Thanks, man.
So, you talk about the humanization of businesses. There's a tension there, in my opinion, because if you're trying to interact with a business and think of it in a human way, it has to have a personality. So you think about Apple, it has to have a personality. Right. But it's made up of thousands of individuals who have a whole host of other personalities. So you've got this kind of, you know, how do you square that up?
I think you do it through training and you do it through hiring. You know, it's very easy for me, you know, wine library, you know, I'm no longer there day to day, but I want people walking into that store to feel like we pick them up the second they walk in, carry them to the wine they want, grab the wine, take them to the register, don't charge them, take them to their car, kiss them and send them home. That's how I want them to feel, right?
Now, aren't you going to kind of, do you want to kind of, when you say training, you're implying that you want everybody to pick up the corporate message, which is not great for most people. I don't want to be Mr. Apple. I want to be me awesome. Working for whoever. Do you know
and you're more than welcome to go out and do whatever the fuck you want to do, right? But if you're going to work for my company, you need to have the ability to talk about what I want to talk about. Now, I think the process begins in the hiring process.
And how would you feel if someone said that to you?
Tremendous, because I've never worked for anybody, and if nobody wants to, you know, I can't even comprehend that.
There's a tension.
There is a tension, but here's what's interesting. I think on that tension point, you've got to really look at the community. And I think you're right. And nothing for nothing, I struggle to hire a lot of people because I look them dead in the face. I just let go of a designer at VaynerMedia, and I was letting him go, and he said, "You were right," as we were talking. And I told him when I was hiring him that he shouldn't work for me because I can taste in my mouth that he's too entrepreneurial and too much of himself, and he's too strong-willed and wants to do his own shit. And I said, you're going to be better off doing it yourself. So if you want to come on board, I'm not really in the business to have you come on board for a year, build it up, send you on your way and whatever, but I'll do it because I like your style, and that's what's going to happen, and that's what happened. However, there's a really interesting thing going on, which is that there are a lot more people, especially in America, and that's what I can obviously talk to better culturally than other places in the world, but I very much see the younger generation right now much more obsessed with the work-life balance in their lives. And I just wonder, if I didn't have that one piece of DNA that was so entrepreneurial and competitive, how happy I would be working 50 hours a week for the New York Jets, talking to everybody, working my easy 9 to 5, or for what you want to call it, candy bars, which I'm obsessed, best candy bar in the world, or, you know, 3 or 4 other brands that I think I'm passionate about. What an awesome job that would be to work for 40 hours a week, 9 to 5, get out, leave, no extra pressure, and every day walking into a business that I truly believe in and am passionate about, and get to interact on its behalf with its consumers. So I think the reason you're asking that question and bringing up the attention is probably your own DNA could never go there. I couldn't either. But we'd be very remiss to not recognize the social trends of people wanting their weekends off, not wanting to work 87 hours a day. And those people, I think, have become extremely happy. These are almost better PR, customer service jobs. It's just like, Louis? You're scaring me. These are almost better jobs of that. So I think there is a case of those kind of people being out there. But your point is well taken. I think companies have to be aware of people that may not like that after 6 months,
So we can, I have a question set up, the tag for you. If I can be of assistance. We have a Twitter wall up.
Well, I can do that afterwards. I want to talk to the people here. If you didn't come and you're watching and Ustream, then fuck you. You should have been here. So let's ask them. These people waited. These people have been here. They've waited a long time. So,
Gary, I've just been setting up this with my team with a Gary QA hashtag. It's a Twitter wall that's gonna self-update.
Right.
If you want to.
I don't. I want to ask these people. Raise your hand next. Here we go.
Okay, keep going. I'll take questions.
They sat here till 6 p.m.
Hey there, Gary.
Hello.
So I see that you're a big advocate for face-to-face.
Yeah.
I teach at USC, the University of Southern California, where a lot of students are doing work online.
Awesome.
What do you think about work online? What's the role of face-to-face for students? You're saying they want more work-life balance. How do you see the work-life, the online face-to-face tandem?
Yeah, so I love face-to-face, right? See, Louis, now they're going to be distracted by the wall. I like face-to-face quite a bit on the human element. Let me ask you guys a question, if I can distract you from the wall for a second. That's a good one. I really want to ask a question, if you guys can pay attention for 1 second to answer this yes or no. How many of you engage with people via Facebook or Twitter? Please raise your hand. Don't be lazy. Raise your hand. All right? How many of you feel when you engage that it feels somewhat similar to sitting at a table and engaging as well? Emotionally. Raise your hand.
Emotionally?
I am of that crowd. I feel that when I talk on, there's a lot of faces I'm seeing here now of a lot of people that I engage with, but I don't do it personally. But when I see them in an environment like this humanly, I've already got so much back to that context and feeling, real feeling. When I send a tweet, when somebody says, haha, Gary, the Jets lost to the Patriots, and I tweet, fuck you, I mean it. And I can feel it. It'd be the same way if I said it to their face. So I feel like, there's way too many people that don't do this stuff, that claim that it's not real. Oh, the kids are getting ruined. The world's getting ruined because we're doing it all through a computer. I think my emotional interaction with people has scaled dramatically. I have many more relationships. I have dramatically more context. And my opinion, I think that is extremely important, and all this reminds me of is we could all go to the libraries right now or probably Google it. There was a shitload of people that said the telephone was going to ruin our society, that talking on the phone wasn't face-to-face, that and I just don't see it. It's going to continue to move. I feel tremendous, connection to the people I engage with online, and I wouldn't mind if it was all of it. That being said, I'm a super huggy, feely, touchy guy, and I love meeting people in person, but I love the fact that, as I'm boarding a plane, I can have an emotional connection and relationship with somebody that I could have never had any other way. Thanks. Louis, can you take the wall down?
Okay, I'm going to go to my donation.
Because I want to see their faces, and they're looking at the screen, not my face.
Okay.
And I can't help it. I want to look.
So I'm one donation away from Ashton Kutcher.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Hey,
I'm in.
One more.
How much?
$10.
Louis, how much are we at right now?
Wait. We passed him.
How much are we at?
We just passed Ashton Kutcher.
How much money are we at?
Oh, that's easy. Let me just check that. We have raised. It was not about the highest number, but it's about the. Let me see here. $3,090. $3,000.
Okay. $3,090.
But this is from 400 members,
right.
And it's.
So Louis.
Yeah.
I will double the number right now.
Okay, go ahead. So just let you know, So this is on
But Scoble's going to pay for it.
Yeah. So this is on causes.com/LeWeb,
Yeah, no,
and
I know
this
what it
is
is.
going to the Benioff Hospital for Children in San Francisco.
I've been following. I'm in. All right, let's move on.
Hi Gary, I'm Karin Schmogler from Austria, and my question to you is, because you mentioned work-life balance, so should companies tweet on the weekend? Should they Facebook on the weekends?
Absolutely.
All of them? What about work-life balance?
Work-life balance is up to every individual, but a business should be listening 24/7. If a customer has a problem, or more importantly, and I think we spend way too much time worrying about the problems, how about the customers that are giving you love? You know, how about when a customer says, I had an amazing time at your restaurant in Austria on Saturday night, it was amazing. I think that thanking people for thanking you is immensely important. And so I think that there's a lot of employees a lot of human beings out there who are not fortunate enough to have work-life balance, who are in circumstances where they need to put food on the table and aren't worried about buying fucking gadgets, they're worried about putting clothes on their children, who would be thrilled to work on a weekend, something that lightweight, maybe even in their own home because they can handle it. And so I think there's a lot of people out there that are willing to do that job to make extra money, or maybe because they truly just love to do it. I would say 24/7 is important. I do. I think the speed of response changes the dynamic of the context. You know, if I said great TV show, Glee, it was an awesome episode today, and like 2 weeks later they're like, thanks, it'd feel weird. I don't know. It loses some of its momentum. Hello?
Hi Gary.
What's your name?
Ryan. My name is Ryan.
Ryan?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome.
Good.
Sweet.
I just wanted to. My question has a couple of parts. First question is, what position did you play in high school football? Because you had no high school.
I played cornerback until everybody realized I was dramatically too small and too slow to be successful. Somewhere around 14, I realized I was much more likely to buy a football team than to play for one.
Got it. Okay. No, that's good. I just had the imagination that you might be like a linebacker or something.
Just too small, man.
Got it.
DNA.
All right.
You got to execute against it.
All right, good. Now, so my real question is, so you've been working with brands now with your media company. Are you kind of sorry that you've done that? Are you
No.
What's the state of the
So client work sucks, right? I mean, client work is like having somebody take a knife and stick it in your face, right? It's not interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good overheard. I gotta remember that one. But I think way too many people do things without knowing why. You know, I think too many people, virtual currency's cool. Let me start a virtual currency business. Or, mobile's big. I need to make an app. Or, wow. They follow trends. Deal of the day. If Groupon passes on 6 billion, I'll make a niche one and I'll make $1 million. I think you have to have purpose for why you're doing what you're doing. So for me, I knew why I wanted to start consulting. I felt that I had a tremendous sensibility for tech, startup, entrepreneurship, and I didn't really understand corporate. See, I'm not very good at reading and learning. I'm only good at doing it. I need to taste it. It's like wine. You can read about wine, but until you taste 60 different wines a day, you don't really know it, right? So I needed to taste it. I knew what was wrong with corporate. I wanted to understand how they justified it. You know, I wanted to understand the politics. I wanted to understand where they spent their money, because I wanted to learn it, because corporate America has a lot of money, right? Corporate will always spend. They have to. So for me, I wanted to understand it, and I wanted to reverse engineer a product, something more scalable, eventually to them. And that's what I'm doing. You know, I've spent 2 years. I think the brands that work with us are very lucky because I'm really giving them my heart and soul, and I think it's more valuable than what they're paying me. But I feel good about it because I'm getting what I want, which is I understand 2 years later, corporate, so much more than I ever could have in any other way, and I know what to do with it. And knowledge is power. And for me, the only way I can really grasp knowledge is living it. It wasn't fun. I had a lot of very smart friends email me and say, what are you doing? This is stupid. Like, that seems like such a massive step backwards. But I very much understood why I was going to do it, and I'm very happy I did.